any fucking longer, man. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Solo, man. Today we got some different shit for y'all, bro. We got King Von's Rap First Serial Killer, bro. And now I have seen this documentary a couple times. You know what I'm saying? I've watched it before. I know what it's about, but I've never made a reaction to it. And when I searched up on YouTube, the motherfuckers that do make reactions to it, this shit is like very ass. Like they don't, motherfuckers don't get it, bro, or they just like idolize, like not idolize, but glorify like the wrong parts of the shit, and don't talk about all of it. Is I like, you know what I'm saying, everything as a whole, bro. Like it's very easy to just see a nigga like King Von just be like, oh, he just was a heinous, fucked up piece of shit ass nigga, like. But you don't want to talk about the environment that he came from, that was literally strategically designed to hijack, to spiritually hijack young black men. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if the cops couldn't kill y'all, it's like shit, we gonna give y'all, we gonna cut resources off, we gonna cut opportunities off, we gonna flood the environment with drugs and guns and make y'all turn on each other out of a matter of survival. And we don't even gotta do nothing. We'll lock y'all up for it. And then when y'all try to put that real energy and shit into sources like music and create shit, we gonna control that too. So we capturing y'all energy, we
Warning,
capturing that
this video
frequency, we
contains themes of
controlling it,
violence,
containing it.
death, and gang activity. This
I
video
also want to say rest in peace to everybody in this video. Um, it's not glorifying none of this shit, bro. I just wanted to get a real cut through shit, like what this shit really is, bro. It's not about glorifying this shit. It's not about none of that shit. But I don't know. We're gonna probably do a couple parts to this video, bro. Like 2, 3. I don't know, cause this shit 3 hours. I'm not gonna watch this shit right here in one sitting. So let's do it.
is for educational and documentary purposes only. This video is not intending to incite or encourage illegal behavior in any way. Every effort has been made to remove any content which violates YouTube's community guidelines. If you'd like to see an uncut version of this video with everything that I can't channel also and support us on where I break down real Giuseppe being one of hip-hop by early gangster rap pioneers like Ice Cube and NWA to Tupac and Suge Knight taking over the music game with vivid tales of gang-affiliated
Hey,
rappers.
you can say what you want. I think Von and Dirt is like the new Pac and Biggie, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Not necessarily to the degree like Pac was on some real prolific shit. You know what I'm saying? Like really, you know what I'm saying? But the same type of like, it's the same type of shit.
Would bully their way into the music industry. And then you have legends like Jay-Z and 50 Cent, whose tales of life in the streets as gangsters made them millionaires hundreds of times over. For decades now, rap fans have been looking for the realest artists, whose lyrics paint a picture of a real life of crime that isn't embellished or fabricated. But when it comes to rappers who truly keep it real, the Chicago...
I don't understand what people have, like, it's a balance, bro. I value authenticity in rap too. But like J. Cole is authentic, my nigga. Like Kim, the artist, like he's authentic when he talks about love. Like just because the motherfuckers talking about violence and is being like that is what I don't understand. What do you praise out of that? What is,
drill scene has dominated for the last decade. First
it's
popularized
to
by
the
Chief
point
Keef,
now,
the
bro.
Chicago
Like
drill wave was characterized by rap.
the streets in Chicago in 2026, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this, my nigga. If you are an active, like, I'm not gonna say gang member. If you are an active gang banger, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean when I say that. Like, bro, you lost, my nigga. You just like, just say you just like, you don't value your life, you don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? And you bond with other people that are on that same frequency as you, that just don't value life, don't see, don't, you know what I'm saying? Can't see the light at the end of the
Grew
tunnel,
up in the
bro.
most dangerous blocks in
It's
America,
just
with these
stupid.
up-and-coming artists rapping plainly and
Talk all day
honestly
about this
about what
shit.
they experienced growing up. Shootings on the block, disrespecting dead enemies, and constantly being chased by the police. Chicago drill rappers took gangster rap to raw new heights, where the stories behind the music could be matched up with local news reports.
I ain't
The
gonna get
latest
off. I want to
crossovers.
talk, but I'm gonna
What
just,
happens when the
we
people
gonna
who
focus on it.
killing start making the music? Because in the years after Chief Keef popularized the violent stories of Chicago gang life, one of those gangsters killing people in the streets picked up a microphone too and started rapping in the first person from the perspective of the actual killer. King Von had a reputation in
Now, I'm gonna tell
Chicago.
you this. It's a lot of street niggas. It's a lot. It's so many King Von, as in motherfuckers that have popped people and hopped on the mic, bro. There's thousands of them. He just was the biggest one that did it. But he was also like outside of all the street shit, the street persona, all that. The nigga was a talented rapper, like artist, like genuinely, like, you know what I'm saying? And don't know, bro. It's just a shame, man. Cause it's so easy to just like point the finger at him and blame him for like, you know what I'm saying, where his life is. And I mean, it is ultimately up to him. But it's like, bro, you grow up, niggas that grow up in an environment like that, bro. You can't hand a motherfucker that like just a whole bunch of money and think they gonna be straight and just off. I mean, just good off on their own and shit. Bro, they are so like fundamentally like wired in their brain. Like it's all money does is amplify the motherfucker you is at heart. So if you a hurt little boy at heart that's got unpacked trauma, unpacked grief, give a motherfucker $1 million in the platform, guess what? He's just on a global level a hurt little boy. But he can't show that. So you gotta, I'm tough, I'm a killer, I'm a gangster. Cause he don't know nothing. He don't know how to be a fucking, hi, how you doing? You don't know how to come in the room. You got, what y'all doing? You don't feel me?
As a fearless killer,
Code switching is a
video
thing, niggas. Y'all
started
need to learn that
and it's
shit, bro.
widely believed, based
Y'all
on
want
the
to gangbang, y'all
statements
niggas
he
need to
made
learn
in
how
his
to
own
fucking
songs,
speak
that
their
Von
language better
himself
than them.
could have killed as many as 7 people in his career as a gangbanger, with more murders even taking place after he got rich and famous, with it being rumored that Von used his money and influence in the rap game to have old enemies in Chicago killed.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Y'all seen the documentary of when bro came to back to the block and he dropped off 100K. I ain't gonna go deep into it because the ones who know. But if y'all are idiots if y'all think that nigga just came and just gave that money out of the kindness of his heart.
And going on a journey which, in my opinion, takes him
He
far
did,
beyond a
but he
street
did it.
player who had to kill to survive in the mean streets of Chicago. Because if King Von Sweets
And
were
it's
anything to go by, he simply loved killing people. And the sheer amount of people that King Von allegedly played a role in killing has led to intense speculation as to whether
it's
he was a
like
full-blown serial killer.
I don't know how it fucks with me when you think about this type of shit and even all these people, bro. Because it's like even Duck, like we can talk about FBG Duck, like we'll talk about him later, bro. But like, is these niggas' life they fault, bro? Like it's so easy to point the finger at these motherfuckers and be like, oh yeah, and I get everybody has free will, everybody makes their own decisions, bro. But when you grow up in certain environments, like you have to adjust that environment just to survive another 24 hours. So when you realize, okay, this is the mindset, this is the way I act that gets me to survive, you naturally just that's who you become. You know what I'm saying? I don't think any of these motherfuckers is heinous, evil fucking people. Nobody just is put into the world. I don't think nobody's just put into this world as an evil, malicious motherfucker, bro. Shit has to happen to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Serial
just
killer,
fucked up, bro.
a title which King Von's enemies even said that him and his friends took personal pride in. Now, the FBI defines a serial killer as a person who kills over 3 people with time spans in between them of more than a month. Furthermore, serial killers tend to have an element of psychological gratification, which plays a role in the motive for their murders. The FBI also state that a serial killer might seek various kinds of gratification through their killings.
I don't think
such
it's
as
necessarily
anger, thrill
gratification when it comes. I mean, I think it is probably partially gratification when it comes to like a nigga like Vaughn and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like these motherfuckers put my people down. But on a deeper level, it's a way to like mask the fact that like he's ruining his own life. He's ruining other lives. You know what I'm saying? There's so much just grief and just trauma and shit that if he unpacked it all, it would like probably crush him. So the only way when you and some shit like that, bro, like the only way you feel like above it is when you're constantly sliding. Cause you could this is what happens to the mind. Like you and some shit like that, bro, you feel like if you sliding, you can't get slid on. If you're the danger can't come to you. It's a false complex. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna say. Let's just watch this video.
seeking financial gain, reaching
Let's
his
just
full
watch this
potential.
video.
I personally believe that over the course of his career, King Von demonstrated all of these characteristics and can indeed be classified as a serial killer. King Von frequently exhibited behavior in public that conformed with these rules, tweeting regularly about his desire to kill, bragging about having committed specific murders in his music, which attracted him international attention and Billboard charting songs, with his drill anthems about murdering rivals making him a rich man with millions in his bank account.
Like, do y'all understand when this nigga came out, bro? Like, I don't think y'all understand how insane it is for this nigga to have had the whole world screaming "fuck 63rd." That just goes to show like the full extent of what 63rd did to him as a whole. How much they, you know what I'm saying? This shit,
FBI also
man,
point out another characteristic of serial
that's
killers,
wicked, bro. I
specifically that
can't,
their
like,
victims
and I
all
don't
have
mean
something
wicked
in
like
common.
it's
For
cool. It's
example,
fuck.
demographic profile, appearance, gender, or race. And it would appear that King Von only killed young black men and women from the community he lived in. These were all people just like him, being born into a rundown part of Chicago and growing up with a lot of disadvantages. All that really separated Von from his victims were the fact that they were from a rival territory, and he believed that nobody would miss them. King Von has officially been implicated in 4 murders, 2 where he was suspected of being involved, but the police didn't have enough evidence to charge. One case where he narrowly received a not guilty verdict after a key witness disappeared and a co-defendant implicated himself. Another that he's accused of organising with 5 of his closest childhood friends. The shooting of rival rapper FBG Duck in broad daylight at a busy shopping district, Von will never face justice for due to him losing his life only months before the feds.
I'm gonna say this about the FBG Duck. I'm gonna say this about FBG Duck. Rest in peace to FBG Duck. You know what I'm saying? But I think, man, this is like, I can't even, you know.
This particular murder would go
Should just
down
it
as one
fucks
of the
with me,
most
bro.
brazen assassinations carried out in Chicago since the days of Al Capone. But in total, there's over 10 murders of which King Von has been connected to over the years. Nobody has looked into all of them in great detail until now. So today, we're going to take a closer look at the man, his past, and his career to find out once and for all if King Von really was the first serial killer in hip-hop history.
He was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts.
4 shooters and a hail of bullets.
All of them was scatter bomb. All of them was scatter bomb.
Police found several shell casings in this parking lot.
King Von was bloodthirsty. He loved death. He loved killing.
I got a lot of
People, and this is the thing with a nigga like Von. Like, his image is so twisted, bro, and they know exactly how they do it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they idolize the wrong things about him, bro. Like, oh, everybody feared him. He was just disrespected guy. No, bro. This nigga was a loose cannon, impulsive fucking child with a firearm that was not mentally stable, my nigga. He might turn on you because he don't, you know. That's what the fuck they scared of, nigga. Yeah, like these motherfuckers was just scared of him because they just respected him, bro. But no, they didn't respect that nigga.
How many I think?
King Von had a insatiable.
Even the niggas around him didn't respect him, bro. They was also fucking scared of him.
1 person dead, 4 others injured.
Me? Hey, I know you. You ain't know me.
King Von probably would have been considered like a serial killer.
They labeled the man a serial killer. Them.
King Von, real name Davon Bennett, was born on August the 9th, 1994 in Chicago, Illinois, growing up on West 78th and South Hermitage in an area known as Killer Ward, an area mainly affiliated with the Chicago gangs, the Gangster Disciples, and the Black Peace Stones. Von would attend Barton Elementary School in the area, but despite starting life as a fairly normal kid in Chicago, he would be subjected to the influence of gangbanging in his family home from a young age. His father was Walter E. Bennett, aka Silk, a well-known street dude from nearby Ada Park. Von was mainly raised by his mother, as his father was in and out of jail throughout his childhood. But Von's father was apparently a legend in the streets, with ties to the street gang, the Black Disciples. However, much like Von, despite the fearsome reputation he'd earned in the streets, it would ultimately be this proximity.
A lot of this shit go to show you too, if motherfuckers really pay attention, how important it is for a child to have both parents in their life. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, Von had his father at his household growing up. A lot of the shit that he did, he wouldn't have done. One, because he would have, the consequences that come from that shit. And also, just, he would have had somebody to just talk him through it. You know what I'm saying? See the bigger picture of what the fuck is going on. Not get stuck in the moment of shit. Like, you feel me? But he don't have that. So, then you gotta think, man, like, it's such a toxic fucking cycle and environment, bro. Like, everybody outside is overcompensating with being a scared, broken kid by trying to project this tough image. So the only way you fit in is by and feel like you get respect from them by doing the same thing, which is really just a self-destructive cycle. It's just like who can destroy themselves the furthest, the fastest, and you know what I'm saying, the hardest. And then we'll just rename the block after you that you don't even own. It's just dumb, bro.
to gang life that would lead to his father's demise, as King Von's dad Silk was shot dead when Von was only 11 years old, apparently being targeted by a sniper outside of a skating rink, according to an interview with King Von's uncle.
Rest in peace, King Von. Rest in peace, Silk. That's crazy. Like, I'm with Big Bro every day. Kill his daddy with a sniper rifle. This get deep though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sniper. I hit him with a sniper rifle. Yeah, at the skating rink, but you know, that's another story.
It seems clear that King Von's father Silk was remembered as a legend of the block. However, coping with the loss of his father at such a young age clearly had a negative effect on the mindset of a young King Von. He would tweet and rap in freestyles years later.
I'm gonna tell you like this too, bro. I'm gonna get this off my chest because it fucks with me. I'm not talking about King Von's dad. But he was a legend. Nigga was hustling, getting money, all that shit. And wait, that does make you a legend. I don't like when they call someone like T-Roy a legend. Rest in peace to T-Roy. I'm not disrespecting him in any way, shape, or form. But how is he a legend when all he was a broken kid? Look at him right here. All to me he was a broken kid that craved male validation, male approval, and had to overcompensate because he was short and had a fucking, what's the word, short man syndrome. You know what I'm saying? I had to overcompensate while just being erratic, impulsive, not thinking, just a crazy motherfucker. And they confuse people like, oh, what's up, man? Like they respect you or something. No, bro, they scared you because you not right, nigga. You a tweak. I'm finna come around you and be like, what's up, bro? Just out of survival for myself. And then you gonna take it like, yeah, they respect me. You're a dumbass, bro. You're dumb, but you're a street legend. They gonna call you a street legend. They gonna call you a street legend because you pulled a couple triggers. If you go give if I can go give a blind 2-year-old a fucking switch and just tell her all you gotta do is pull the trigger and aim. They're gonna call her a street legend. What makes you a legend about killing other? I don't. I thought the goal was to get out the hood. You know what I'm saying? It was to break curses, break generational curses and poverty. That's what breaking the chains that they try to put on you in life. Then you break them. That's what the street legend is, Chief Keef. You know what I'm saying? Nigga that made something from nothing. Not when you just in nothing and you just make it worse. And just, oh, I don't have nothing, so I'm gonna just fuck everybody around me. What? What?
Throughout his teenage years, he would post RIP tributes to his father on Twitter to commemorate his birthdays. Naturally, Von would follow in his father's footsteps, getting involved in local gang politics at a young age, with Von actually telling 16-shot and visuals in his very first interview that he got involved in the streets in 4th grade, eventually getting his hands on guns by the time he got to high school.
You was out here toting pipes in 4th grade, like when you started?
I probably had a BB gun or something. It wasn't that hectic. Like, it ain't like, I just been, you know, in the streets. There's also, I just like being outside. You know, one of the little boys that like sneaking out, just being outside all day, just do a bed. The gun, all that shit come to play to like what?
And you know what the root of this be, bro? A lot of this shit, I think Von, they'll talk about it later. They gonna talk about it later in the documentary. But I think a lot of this shit just stems from somebody gets their ass beat, somebody gets jumped, somebody, you know what I'm saying? They can't handle that. You know what I'm saying? It breaks them, so they try to just put the, you know? And then when you go kill them, now they people mad, and they gonna come kill your people, and then it's just until everybody's dead.
Yeah, like late 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, when it really got to that point where you gotta hurt somebody, or somebody trying to hurt you, and you gotta protect yourself.
Von would rap on the unreleased song "Wait" that he jumped.
And to me, it's like,
getting deeply involved
I'm not even, I understand, like,
just 12 years old.
Can I pause? Can I talk? I understand once you in it, it's one of them things that's like, it's hard to get out of it and all that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But one, that's the life in bed you make for yourself. But two, I just feel like y'all don't question, like, you cannot kill every GD. You cannot kill every single BD. Like, it is physically fucking impossible. Like, you can't do it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Von would initially be a member of a local street crew affiliated with the Gangster Disciples called Killer Ward, being seen in numerous group pictures with that crew. And affiliates from the area would later post tweets suggesting that Von was indeed putting in work for this crew during his time gangbanging in Killer Ward, with Von himself corroborating that he was close to the members in Killer Ward where he was born, but making it clear that he's always been a member of the Black Disciples due to his family affiliation. Now, Von would live around Killer Ward up to around 2008 or 9, after which he would eventually move to the infamous Parkway Gardens housing development. This housing complex is notorious for its affiliations with the Black Disciples street gang. Parkway Gardens would later be referred to by insiders as O Block, but prior to that,
that shit is literally a prison, bro.
And here, King Von would meet many of the people who would end up having...
O Block is literally nothing but a prison before you get to prison, my nigga. You're in a confined, locked up environment that is under 24/7 surveillance. You feel me? The moment you step outside those gates, you're in enemy territory. You know, you're vulnerable. Like, literally, if you grew up here in 2010, the moment you step outside those gates, you're vulnerable. Your life. Like, not emotionally, like, you're physically vulnerable. Like, that shit is literally, like, that's what I mean. Y'all gotta, it's easy to blame the niggas here. It's so easy to just point the finger at the niggas here and be like, they're dumbasses. But don't nobody want to take a picture at the motherfucker that designed this area. At the motherfucker that cut off resources and opportunities from this area. Flooded it with drugs and guns. And just said, we gonna see what happens.
A huge influence on his life and career. People famous for their affiliation to O Block, whether through the gang wars going on there or through the music that had been made about the gang war. People like Boss Top, Chief Keef, T-Roy, White, Duke, BJ, Big A, Trey 5, Sharoid, J Money, Platoon, and countless other people that played a big role in Von's life growing up. Von would also attend a new school in the area, the Hyde Park Academy, where he would attend with people from other rival territories with affiliations to the Gangster Disciples. People like FBG Duck, who would even claim in a Twitter exchange in 2014 to have plotted to beat King Von up on the school bus, and people like Lil Mark, who Von would even be seen in throwback pictures with before their feud had escalated into something deadly. Von and his friends started out their gangbanging careers with fistfights with the ops at school, schoolyard scuffles that would unfortunately escalate over the coming years, developing into full-blown gang war with firearms involved. Over time, a teenage Von would begin getting more and more involved in Chicago's street gang conflicts, apparently bringing guns to school as young as age 13. Chop Squad, who went to school with both Von and G Herbo, would claim that Von would even show off guns in class, with it apparently being Von himself who started the trend of teenage gang
like, and the thing is, these people, a dumb, stupid motherfucker, like, that's unaware will confuse that with, oh my god, he's a savage, he's tough. And even if they think like that, they subconsciously are scared of this nigga. And they're not scared out of respect, out of fear. Or, I mean, you know, out of, you know, just admiration and respect for the motherfucker. They scared because that's mentally unstable, bro. That's not, you pulling out guns in class. That's how bad you are relying on male validation and male approval because you don't have no father at home. You know what I'm saying? To make you feel like you that man. So you literally just, like, you know, you don't have no father. Not even that your father gonna make you feel like that you that man, but your father gonna talk sense into you. He gonna give you some guidance on how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta figure that out on your own. But when you don't have that blueprint even at home, you do shit.
School, bringing guns to class.
Cry for help.
I'm the type of person to bring a pole to school at 13, fool. Like, that's what me and Herb was talking about. He was like, he knew it was real when Von walked up to him in school. He was like, he had flashed the pole or something. He was like, Herb knew every day from there it was up. He was like, oh, we bringing guns to school? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's on now.
Oh,
he's like,
man.
every day from there, everybody brought guns to school.
Oh, man.
And he's like, Von was the one to start that.
I swear to God, like, if I could, like, punch Adam 22 in his fucking throat, I would, bro. Like, and I genuinely mean, I hate everything about that nigga, bro. He is nothing but a just culture vote. The nigga's just a void. He's just a void. He's a fucking loser. He has no soul. He has nothing, bro. Nothing. No morality, no dignity, no humanity, anything, bro. And he just profits off of fucking black culture, black trauma, black pain, and has no appreciation, respect, or care or understanding for it at all. Just the type of nigga that lets his wife get fucked.
In fact, G Herbo would even later rap about this on a collaboration with Von called FaceTime, saying that Von showed him a revolver in freshman orientation, an experience which led G Herbo to begin bringing guns to school himself too. Now, King Von was apparently out of control as a youngster. According to one story, Von actually did a shooting on prom night whilst wearing his suit. after literally tweeting out that somebody better not try him in his suit. So naturally, you can imagine Von ended up spending a significant amount of time in trouble with the law as a teenager, with large patches of his most formative years spent inside jail cells. Von went to jail for the first time around August 2010 at age 16 for armed robbery, apparently robbing someone for their car at gunpoint. Something that he would actually later refer to on his song Armed and Dangerous, saying that he was arrested on August 11th, 2 days after his 17th birthday, when he was offered 20...
The motherfuckers see, like, the continuous cycle of what's going on, bro. Everything he's doing to me just is, like, a result of having no father, no real male guidance, no real male. So they just, like, do things that they feel like are manly, are tough. You know? It's just a false sense of just everything, bro. They're misguided, bro. Like,
1 to 45 years in a plea deal. Von would end up spending time in boot camp, an intense military-style juvenile program, ultimately rewarding him with early release. But soon after that initial charge, Von would catch another in January 2011, ultimately spending 15 months behind bars as a juvenile, being locked up between December 2010 and March 2012. And during this time of incarceration, Von's best friend T-Roy would tweet calling for his release. Eventually, in March 2012, Von would be a free man once again, but he was only free for a matter of months, from March to November 2012.
What you think? You think, see, it's easy for motherfuckers to be like, yeah, Von and T-Roy, they bonded, they were best friends, you know, they went on drills together, bro. These was two kids that had no dads, that both wanted to fit in this world, that both just wanted to be accepted, that both just wanted, they bonded over the need of male validation and approval. That's what they bonded over, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
In this time, Von would undergo a transformation, going from a gun-toting stick-up kid to a full-fledged killer after witnessing the death of one of his close friends, which, as he put it, turned him into a demon.
She turned me into a
demon.
demon.
That King Von was allegedly involved in, I just want to take the time to consider the real reasons why he would be motivated to kill in the first place. Despite covering a lot of gangsters who are hardened killers, it's important to consider the social circumstances that need to exist for a teenage boy to start committing murders. Firstly, these areas where King Von grew up in Southside Chicago, Killer Ward and O Block, are incredibly poor and dangerous areas, with the latter even being described by the...
What is that even, like, you're not... Like, he just said what it was and then just said it again without ever once explaining what the fuck the area is. See, this world is spiritual, bro. And if you're not a spiritual motherfucker, all you gonna see is the surface level shit. Oh, they're dangerous. There's guns. They're just dangerous. It's poor. But you're not gonna talk about how this was strategically designed way before any of these kids were even born or thought of, or even their parents were thought or born. You know what I'm saying? Any of that shit. They literally, they knew what they was doing. So, like, when 2010 Chicago happened and No Block for 63rd happened, like, it was probably crazy as fuck, but it was also a result of what the system made and the government made. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like, what do you generally think is going to happen when you flood the area with guns and drugs? You know what I'm saying? You cut off resources and opportunities for these people. Now these motherfuckers is out here selling drugs just to survive the day, get to the next day. Then they fighting over drug territory. Now, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit got fucked up after they knocked off them, like, them Randolph Towers and then the Calumet buildings and shit. All the organization and a lot of shit just left. You know what I'm saying? The codes left and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you get environments like this, bro, and it's like, what do you expect to come from it, bro? What do you genuinely expect, my nigga? People are human, bro. You gonna adapt. The motherfuckers is coming outside and people getting killed and all type of shit. What you think you gonna do? Come outside trying to go to college and be a doctor? No. What the fuck? It's now or nigga or never.
Local Sun-Times newspaper as the most dangerous block in Chicago.
Again, he's not saying anything.
These gang murders in Chicago go unsolved.
It's the most dangerous block. That's the whole reason I'm watching this video. It's because it's the most dangerous block. Like, this nigga is Trap Lord Ross, bro. Like, this nigga is an idiot, my nigga. And he thinks he's just so fucking just smart and just street philosopher guy or some shit, bro. You don't do nothing but get all your information and insight from Reddit. You have no, like, just shut up, bro. The whole video, everybody that clicks this video knows that the block is dangerous that he came from. So he wanted to learn about him. We click the video, and the first thing you tell us is, oh, he's from one of the most dangerous blocks. Thanks, Captain Dumbass. Like, what the fuck? How about you explain the entire evolution of the block and what the fuck it is and how it was strategically designed? How would you break down what redlining is to motherfuckers? No, he just was a gangster, picked up guns and killed people. Yeah.
In these areas, someone like King Von grew up seeing death and destruction as a completely normal thing. And if the police never come to your area to solve crimes or deliver justice, it's easy to see why you would place more trust in street justice than in the state. Furthermore, you really have to ponder whose fault is it really that somewhere like O-Block ended up being so poor and dangerous. While it's easy to blame the gangsters and killers there for cultivating a lawless environment, the city and the state politicians ultimately have failed to create the economic...
No, they didn't fail. They succeeded perfectly at their plan. They didn't fail. If they failed, O-Block would be O-Block. If they failed, O-Block would be what Wrigleyville is. If they failed, those people, the black people in Parkway Gardens, would be living like motherfuckers in Wrigleyville and Evanston and up north and all that shit. But that's if they failed. They didn't fail. It was beautiful. It's exactly what the fuck the state government wanted. They're clapping. This, yes. It happened exactly how we wanted to. The black kids are killing each other off. We're deleting black energy from the world, just like we wanted.
Circumstances for someone to grow up safely in these areas. Had there been better economic prospects in the hoods of Chicago, perhaps many of these young men wouldn't have been forced into a life of crime and violence. Furthermore, when it comes to the analysis of King Von's eventual transformation into what some have described as a serial killer, there's actually an argument to be made that geography may have played a part in King Von feeling like he could get away with so many murders. The 70s to the 2000s have actually been described as the golden age of serial murder, and one possible cause for this phenomenon around this period has been cited as urbanization and the concentration of inner city living. Some people have said that putting so many people in such close proximity ends up offering a unique level of anonymity when it comes to committing crimes in these complicated, busy, and overpopulated areas. Put simply, this means that in O-Block, the sheer amount of people, overlapping gang conflicts, and normalization of violence on the streets means that somebody like King Von could kill multiple people without attracting too much attention to him personally. As sad as it is to say, in the eyes of
that was
the cops,
all
a victim
Chicago
is just
2010,
another
bro.
casualty of the gang war rather than a specific crime that could be solved. And it's these circumstances.
And then what that does, bro, it makes you lose your balance, my nigga. When you commit multiple murders and then get away with it, you have this false sense of just like, you know, like you're just better and just invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just gives you this fake God complex, and you just think you're untouchable, my nigga. And that right there is what gets motherfuckers in cell blocks. Is what gets motherfuckers killed. It's when you think you're bigger than God, bro. Like, it's just when you think you're bigger than God.
Perfect conditions for a young King Von to begin killing people in his community with minimal consequences. And whilst King Von was in jail, gun violence had raged on between the black disciples from Wick City and the rival gangster disciples from St. Lawrence and Eberhard Avenues, or STL-EBT. And during this time, whilst King Von was incarcerated, a 15-year-old gangster disciple from the rival hood by the name of Tuka was murdered. Real name Shondale Gregory, Tuka was shot dead at a bus stop on the 600 block of East 63rd Street on the 12th of January 2011 at around 6:48 p.m. It was around that time that a masked gunman jumped out of a vehicle, shooting Tuka several times. Tuka was hated by his rivals from the Black Disciples, and over the next decade, BDs would continue to disrespect him on social media and in popular song.
And then it's like, even when King Von disses him and, you know, listen Tuka and all that shit, all that to me was just like the way he dealt with like survivor's guilt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think the fact that he got on and got music, his mind wasn't right, bro. Like, when he got on and got music, I think like he probably thought motherfuckers would think he was soft now, motherfuckers would think he's fake now. So it was always like, you know, fuck Tuka, like, you know what I'm saying? As in like, I can't look like I switched. I can't look like I changed. I can't look like, you know, I'm just at war with himself, bro. That's all it is. War with himself, bro.
And in honor of their fallen friend, gangster disciples from St. Lawrence and Eberhard would rename their area Tukaville. It's never been fully revealed to the public who killed Tuka, but ever since, there has been intense speculation that a boy named O.D. Perry from Wick City might have had something to do with it. This is partly due to him being pictured.
They say it was. It's so many different sets that be trying to claim this fucking murder.
With a silver revolver, and the witness report from the Tuka murder stated that Tuka was actually shot with a long-barreled silver revolver. Regardless of
I don't think
whether or not
OD shot
was
him.
really the person who killed Tuka,
I don't think
it
OD
didn't
shot
really
him.
matter, because later that year, on August the 10th, 2011, in an act of retaliation, O.D. Perry was killed just outside Parkway Gardens.
He was killed on Tuka's birthday, though.
Including one to the neck at about 11:35 p.m. Just like Tukaville, Wick City was also renamed in the memory of their fallen friend O.D., O-Block. And it's believed that one of the shooters who killed O.D. was a female teenage shooter by the name of Jakira Barnes, or K.I. Following the murder, K.I. would begin to pose on social media with a silver revolver, similar to the one that O.D. was known to carry, and her rumored involvement in this murder of a beloved O-Block.
Like, are y'all grasping what the fuck this type of environment would do to you, my nigga? Like, you feel me? It don't matter if you STLABT or if you fucking O-Block, bro. Like, y'all going through the same shit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, they come to kill your friends, and then they dissing your friends, and then going back to hide. Like, and then wanting you to retaliate. And then once you retaliate to hit them, then they mad, and they finna come do it to you. But then it's genuinely one of the things. It's like when you in it, it's just what it is. Like, you're not thinking, you are thinking logically, I feel like. And it's like, once you in it, it's like, well, even if I say I'm dropping the guns and I'm gonna just go to the studio and rap now, and you know, if you're smart enough to not let your pride and ego get in the way and try to do that, which is good, you still have to understand, like, they're going to kill you if you don't kill them. You know what I'm saying? And like, Chief Keef, I don't even understand how he like is what he is, bro. Like, I don't understand how he was never killed. I don't understand how he never, like, he had enough balance in himself to not get consumed by the gang life and shit, or get consumed by people around him dying and shit. Like, I mean, but I can see why too, though. It's like he knew what it was, bro. And some motherfuckers know what it is and they accept that. You know what I'm saying? They know, like, once you jump off this porch, like, it's jail or it's dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just running on borrowed time. But I don't know, bro. Let's just get to it.
Would lead to K.I. becoming a major target herself, with matters not helped by the fact that she would regularly tweet insulting O.D. Perry and alluding to having killed him, along with others who would openly claim that K.I. made the O, meaning that she...
I'm gonna tell you like this. At this time, I'm sorry for pausing this a lot. I'm gonna end this part 1 to in a minute, probably when we get to 25 minutes, 30 minutes or something. But at this time, like when the war was going on between All Black 63rd, social media was becoming this new phenomenon to the world, and like the people didn't like understand the full extent of it. So it's like somebody from your area gets killed, and then the people that did it are now making a mockery of it, rubbing it in your face, like, because everybody's the toughest guy with this in their hand. Everybody's the toughest dude, like, type behind us. Everybody is. So it just makes you feel so like you need to prove a fucking point, because you know you mad, because you really know, like, that they doing this to make you mad. It's so fucked up, bro. Like, it's a spiritual thing, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. If you ain't, yeah, bro. But my point is, like, the social media amplified a lot of this shit, bro. A lot of it. Like, motherfucker get killed, then they did the diss you on the net, then next thing you know, 20 minutes later, shit get shot up, like...
O.D. and was the one that caused Wick City to change the name of their block to O-Block. But the tragedies in O-Block were far from over. On the 18th of October 2011, another O-Block native by the name of Patoon, real name Edward Riley, would be shot dead inside O-Block after being approached by 2 people with firearms. Another devastating loss to the community would come when 19-year-old Sherroyd Liggins would be shot in the head and left for dead on February the 16th, 2012, also at O-Block. This murder was particularly notable for the fact that it was believed that Sherroyd was killed by a Tukaville shooter by the name of Boss Trell. As the gang war in his neighborhood continued to take more and more of his friends' lives, King Von would get more and more involved, continuing to play a role in the gang war going on in Chicago's street underworld. Von later rapped on the song Don't Want to Be Me that everything changed for him in 2012, and that this is when he decided to get more active in the gang war, with Von saying specifically that the deaths of OD and Platoon completely changed his plans and led him to put on a mask and get active in the gang war. Now there's a lot of speculation about the exact...
Now I guarantee, like right here, this nigga would have had his father in his life. I guarantee his father would have sat him down. And I wonder if he even talked about this type of shit like to his mom and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's 16, 17, motherfuckers dying. Like, I'm sure she had to know. But I'm also sure, like, she may not have knew how to, you know? And she probably didn't think he was going to get consumed by it. She just probably thought, like, yeah, it's tragic, but that's just what it is out here. Like, and she didn't think her son was going to get consumed by that shit. But I think that nigga had his dad and it's like, bro, that nigga would have instantly been like, bro, like, this is the life they make for themselves, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is what comes with, you know what I'm saying? So stay out of it.
Plans and led him to put on a mask and get active in the gang war. Now there's a lot of speculation about the exact murders that Von was allegedly involved in, and we might never know definitively if he was truly involved in all the violence that he was rumored to be associated with, but the very first murder that Von was associated with took place on April the 28th, 2012, when a group of 4 men would catch a man called King Doc, real name Marlon Monroe, shooting...
Like, even this murder was senseless. To me, it just seems like I'm not... Vaughn was hurt, you know what I'm saying? But this specific murder, like, it's not right at all, but I think it's different, like, levels to shit. It's like, if you go kill the motherfucker that killed your friends, I'm not saying it's right, but, like, I understand why you did it to a degree. But, like, this motherfucker, King Doc, I don't think he did anything to anybody from O Block. I don't think so. I think he was a dope boy that was getting money, was hustling, you know what I'm saying? And they knew that. They knew he was the bread getter. They knew that he was the money maker. They knew that, you know what I'm saying? This nigga had motion. He was a little bit older than them. You know what I'm saying? They look at him, envy. You know what I'm saying? You from over here where the niggas where your niggas be doing shit to my people? Boom.
As he walked into a convenience store, with Doc apparently stumbling into a patch of tall weeds after the shooting, where he would pass away and lay
It's
undiscovered.
just senseless, bro.
Doc would
It's so
eventually be
senseless.
found dead by his 16-year-old cousin, Modell McCambry. Doc would be remembered as an original native of St. Lawrence and Eberhart Avenues, with his affiliation to the area likely the reason that the killers from O Block would target him, despite the fact that Doc had apparently left the gang life behind him, becoming a painter to get out of the streets. Apparently hurt by the death of his cousin, Modell, that boy who discovered Doc's body, would then begin to get more involved in the gangs in the area too.
And you see how it would start, bro? You see what I mean? So you can't, some shit happens to you that literally breaks you. You can't show that, bro. It's a weakness, my nigga. Like, so you gonna go click up with motherfuckers. That's one gonna give you physical goddamn protection for yourself, but also just give you a sense of just like camaraderie, like a sense of just like belonging. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not out here on your own, lost, and just gotta grieve. These motherfuckers got you. They with you. You know?
Around with people like KI and FBG Duck, as well as being seen on social media with guns. In fact, it's actually around this time that social media begins to play a bigger and bigger role in the gang war in Chicago.
This shit is so, the more I watch it, it just fucks with me so much because it's just like, it's a spiritual hijack, bro. That's all it is, bro. And like, the hand of cards that they were dealt, bro, was just, they're stacked against them, bro. From the time they was 12 seconds old, bro. Like,
and during this time,
like seriously, some of these motherfuckers, like, from the time before they was even like thought of, their life was already painted out for them if they ever became a physical, you know.
Himself would become a prolific user of Twitter, beginning a flurry of activity on the platform after signing up in June 2012, going on to tweet constantly about his activities in the streets, seemingly with no fear about incriminating himself. Von would openly claim to be drilling in the name of O.D. Perry. He would say that he was like Phineas and Ferb in the streets with his best friend and fellow O-Block shooter T-Roy, warning ops not to diss them, claiming to shoot people like it's nothing. He would tweet that he's been drilling from young and even wants to kill cops too. He would say outright that he will whack people. He would regularly diss numerous rival hoods and gangs, and be claiming to be paranoid due to having so many people trying to kill him. Von claimed on Twitter to get so enraged whenever he hears the name Tuca or St. Lawrence that his trigger finger just starts itching. But during this time that Von was tweeting openly about all the crimes that he was willing to do in the streets, these crimes would continue to play out. On August the 7th, 2012, Von would make a tweet saying that homicide is in the air and that it smells like a graveyard. Then, in the early hours of the morning the following day, on August the 8th, 2012, a group of guys from O Block, rumoured to include King Von and T-Roy, would be out looking for enemies to kill. Dirty Rel, real name Terrell Joshua, an older member with affiliations to St. Lawrence, Eberhard, and Jarrow City, who had actually moved out of Chicago but was back in town, would end up being shot dead and found on a sidewalk on the first block of East 56th Street in Washington Park just before 3:30 a.m. However, in this case, retaliation would come fast. As the day of August 8th, 2012 goes by, that same evening, around 11:30 p.m., King Von is out with his close friend White White, real name Tony Dunn. They would go to a convenience store together on East 63rd Street and South Martin Luther King Drive. Here, Von would go inside the store whilst White White waited outside. At this point, a gunman pulls up, shooting White White in the back, with a police officer on the scene even returning fire and hitting the shooter, who ultimately managed to escape. White White would be pronounced dead in the early hours of the morning on August 9th, 2012. This date just so happened to be King Von's 18th birthday. This was a devastating incident for Von, who would tweet...
Can we just take a moment to just think what that will do to your mind? It is your birthday, the day you're supposed to celebrate, like, the fact that you're alive. And the person that's supposed to do it with you was just murdered. You're supposed to just go through your life and just, and then you know the motherfucker that did it. And then not only do you know the motherfucker that did it, that set has been doing shit to you and your people for so long. That just is, it's just like the final straw, bro. Like, after that, I don't give a fuck no more. And I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's justified, because it's not. But it's also just, it's fucked, bro. And I told you, like, they knew, like, during slavery, bro, it's like, motherfucker, you know who was oppressing you. You know who was against you. You know what I'm saying? You know who was holding you down, treating you less than. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like motherfuckers have the illusion of freedom. Motherfuckers have the illusion that we're all together. And then in return, they like, fuck it. If we can't kill them off, we're going to design the area to make them kill off each other. Because nothing is more detrimental to a black, nothing can hurt a black man more than a black man and his own ego. That's what gets all these motherfuckers killed or in jail. Another black man or their ego. With the cops, you know they trying to oppress you. You know they trying to hold you down. So you're not even, to agree, you really don't even give a fuck about them. It's just what that is. It's natural, just, but with your own people though, it does something to your spirit. So, because it's because we're all brothers and sisters. So if another nigga do something to one of your people, it's like, damn, you my brother, you just killed my brother. That pain,
numerous times about the murder of his friend Whitey, including this one where he said that he had just bought Whitey a pill and gone inside the store, only coming back outside to find a crowd surrounding his shot friend, and at first believing that Whitey would be okay. After this, Von would tweet messages saying that this killing is what led him to act out, and in the days following, he would be pledging to kill his enemies publicly. Von later elaborated on his mindset around this period in his song Demon, saying outright that
this is going a different way now, but I think we really would have been better off, black people, with segregation. And I mean that because it's like it forced us to like go within ourselves, make our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there was real codes that we stuck to then, versus now it's like we have the illusion we're all equal. You know what I'm saying? Which gives motherfuckers the,
witnessing the death of his close friend Whitey on his 18th.
Like if segregation was still around and still a thing, I don't think it'd be shit like this. Niggas killing niggas and motherfuckers making money off of talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It would be shit like, just should be organized, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit would be organized.
Birthday, the exact thing that turned him into a demon. And Von would rap that after this, him and his right-hand man T-Roy would be doing hits back-to-back to avenge this tragic loss. Von would apparently be trying to kill much more ruthlessly after this, desperately wanting to get at rival shooters K.I. and Wooski, who had mocked White White's death on Twitter. In September 2012, King Von and others caught K.I. on the train, apparently beating her up and mocking her on Twitter in the aftermath. Von would eventually catch up with K.I. in much more deadly circumstances, but not for a couple of years. For now, he would continue to gangbang in the streets with his O-Block brothers like T-Roy, ultimately winding up implicated in numerous murders as he continued to seek revenge for the murder of White White, and one body at a time, building up a fearsome reputation as one of O-Block's most ruthless killers.
And you know, it's like the most fucked up thing about it all, bro. I might end it after this because I don't know how long we've been recording. But a motherfucker, like, if K.I., just think of like K.I. and Von had got together and came to an agreement like, look, you lost niggas, I lost niggas. We both hurt. We both just trying to put our hurt onto each other. How about we, like, do something to get rich? The motherfuckers, both of them, had natural leadership qualities. They both had natural just charismas to them, bro. And it was very, like, magnetic. And it could have been like, they would have came together on some rap shit, bro. They really, really could have changed, like, the world, my nigga. And really let kids see, like, that you don't have to just throw it away. You know what I'm saying? Because all Von and them do is just set up like, okay, it's cool to just kill my, like, you know? Look at Bloodhound Lil Jeff, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You think about would Bloodhound Lil Jeff have been who he was if King Von wasn't who he was? He see King Von like, oh, this nigga get rich off killing, talking about it. You can get rich off just killing and talking about it. And being a heinous individual. And that's the blueprint he ran with. And look where it got him. And I'm not dissing, I'm not talking shit. I want motherfuckers to see. Like, y'all gotta understand, bro. Like, don't be like, and motherfuckers that do glorify that shit, you glorify that shit out of just fear. They glorify that shit out of just like being scared to think on their own, think for themselves. Everybody else is praising it. I'm gonna do what the majority is doing. Cause if I question it, then I'm too insecure myself, and it's gonna make me feel like I'm weird or not right. So I'm just gonna dig right like everybody else.
Chicago drill veteran Tay Capone would tell 16 Shot and Visuals in an interview that if you hung around King Von in 2012, you simply had to accept that you would be in shootouts.
If you was hanging with, let me tell you something. The shit that y'all niggas idolize in the hood, like, these are people that are emotionally stunned. These are people that are full of trauma and grief, pain, poverty, all this shit. They do not think rationally. They do not think logically. They think impulsively. They think right now. You know what I'm saying? They don't think long term how this affects people. You know what I'm saying? They think in the moment. Like, because that's all, like, they can't think outside of the moment because they can't see. They can't even guarantee they're going to be alive tomorrow. So all they have right now is the moment. They can't control nothing. They don't have nothing built for themselves. So all they rely on, literally all you have is your pride and your ego. That's all you have. You don't have no line of credit. You don't have a car. You don't have a job. You can't get a house. You can't got a felony. You can't do shit. All you have is your sense of pride. And with the street, the concrete, like, has built in you and made you. Like, and you praise it because you really fucking hate what it's done to you. You know what I'm saying? You hate that these streets have fucking broke you and your people and everything around you. So you stand on it like, yeah, nigga, I'm that nigga. Because it's fucking killing you. It is fucking killing you. And my point, saying all that to say was, motherfuckers be so confused, idolizing the wrong shit. Bro, when it be shootings in Chicago, bro, all it be is one motherfucker that has low emotional intelligence, low IQ. Motherfucker said go left instead of go right, and you got mad and shot him. That's what she be, bro. That's what she be.
You had to accept everything that came with Von. You had to accept that you was gonna be in shootings, accept that it was gonna be that, and you had to be with it. You feel me? With Von.
King Von was on a mission in 2012 to get revenge for the friends that he had lost to the gang war. Losing OD, Platoon, and White White turned him into a demon.
And I'm not. This is another thing. All right, I just want to touch up on this. I'm not sitting here and discrediting his pain. It's not saying it's not real. It's not justified. These is, your niggas. But I just feel like if I was cool with motherfuckers that I know is out here killing motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Even though I know they killing them because, killer be killed and all this shit. And, once they die, yes, you're going to be hurt. But what makes you try to avenge them? Do you know what they died for doing? They died because they chose to kill people and inflict their pain onto the other people, which really just made the pain even more. And then it came back to them and they killed them. And now you're feeling it. And now you're going to carry it on. And then the next,
He said. So he would spend every day in the streets of Chicago stalking his ops and broadcasting his activities on Twitter for the whole world to see. On September the 6th, 2012, Von would get arrested, even taking selfies for Twitter inside of the cop car. He would post pictures of him.
And I think a lot of the shit that had to do with it was the fact that Chief Keef music was blowing at this time, bro. And it kind of gave these niggas, like, purpose, bro. These two right here. It gave these niggas purpose. But Chief Keef on that bitch talking about bang, bang, boom, boom, we blow your block down. They feeling that. These two niggas is feeling that shit. They making them feel like, and then you gotta understand what's going on. The falseness that comes from it. These niggas felt like what Chief Keef was rapping about. Von tweeted like what me and T-Roy was supposed to be rapping about. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, and then you see that Chief Keef getting rich and going on tour, traveling the world, making millions of dollars off rapping about the shit that y'all do. That makes y'all feel like y'all are just so rich in spirit.
Him and his partner in crime, T-Roy, dubbing themselves the O-Block Savages. In fact, after posting one picture together, one woman from O-Block even suggested that Von and T-Roy stop being photographed together in case somebody sends it to the police. Von would tweet how him and T-Roy's names were ringing in the streets and that people were praising them for doing their thing, regularly using this as a catchphrase to refer to his drilling, tweeting warnings to the ops that he's about to go on their block and do his thingy thing, telling them that they have 2 hours to clear the streets and promising to blast them on sight. Von would even reflect on a conversation that he had with T-Roy, saying that they can't die soon because they know they're going to hell for all the bad things they had done in the streets. Von would even openly tweet about shooting up Dunbar High School around this time.
Matter of fact, this was the day I shot up Dunbar. What that like? Thing and McAdoo. We like to do.
He would continue
Rest
to be
in
in the
peace.
eyes of
I'm
the
not
law,
dissing.
being
I'm
picked
not
up in
dissing nobody,
October
bro. I'm
for
not.
battery. But little did the police know just how serious Von's crimes were about to get in the coming weeks. On the 13th of October 2012, Von tweeted that he is about to pop these pills and spaz out on somebody, expressing frustration that he hasn't taken anybody down for a while and saying that he's getting dry. Perhaps a tweet with a double meaning that could refer to sex or murder. That very same day, Von would tweet that his ops party tonight is getting cancelled. Later, Von is tweeting asking for somebody to come and get him. And 30 minutes later, Von tweets simply...
You can say what you want, bro, but like, these motherfuckers was like, kind of smart, bro. Like, they were dumbasses in the way they just like went about life, and that's harsh to even say that. But my point is, they were smart. Like, if you read the way these niggas used to tweet, they didn't have enough time to even type out full sentences, nigga. You get what I'm saying, bro? These niggas were so deep into that gang shit. Like, these niggas didn't even... Somebody with 2 eyes, come get me real quick. Like...
is tweeting asking for somebody to come
crazy.
and get him. And 30 minutes later, Von tweets simply, ha, followed by 45...
That's what happens when you grow up in an environment. Like, when you prone into survival mode, bro, you don't have time to be trying to articulate all your words. Because you're trying to say a whole full sentence, a motherfucker might come kill you. So you just gotta, hey, yo, quick with it. Like, like...
Glock me. That very night, October the 13th, 2012, Modell, that same teen who had found the body of his cousin King Doc dead just 6 months before, would be walking down the street with another one of his cousins on their way to meet a girl, when just before 9:30 p.m, somebody approached them on foot, opening fire. Modell would be shot in the chest and later pronounced dead in hospital. No one was ever charged with this murder or attempted murder, but many years later, police documents would be released revealing that King Von himself was positively identified by a witness as the shooter, with T. Roy apparently at the scene too. This meant that King Von was the prime suspect in the murder. And not only that, but King Von would tweet immediately after the killing. Now, it's important to remember that Twitter timestamps run on universal coordinated time. That's the same as UK time, and that's where I'm reading these tweets from, which is 6 hours ahead of Chicago time. So for me to get the exact time of a tweet that was made by King Von or KI or somebody else in Chicago, I have to take the time that it shows on Twitter and -6. I'm telling you this because Modell was...
This was probably one of the most, like, this was some smart shit by Trapper Ross. I am not gonna lie. I know what I said about him earlier, bro, but like, I can't explain what I'm trying to say. Like, this was like, wow. It makes you realize like the full extent of, like, you know.
Von tweeted, "Who died?" about 17 minutes after the murder of Modell took place. And that tweet was followed by yet another one reading, "It's not safe around our way," which came less than an hour after the shooting. And Von's "Who died?" tweet would provoke responses from somebody who even knew Modell, with Von saying that the dead person is...
Who died? You? No, I ain't dead. That's somebody you know, homie. Somebody innocent. You capping, homie. Oh, that's fucked up.
Somebody that they know. In addition to that exchange, the female shooter from Tukaville, KI, would end up getting arrested not long after this for apparently shooting indiscriminately into O Block, hoping to kill anybody in retaliation for Modell. None of this seemed to bother King Von, however, as he clearly got a lot of satisfaction out of having seemingly killed again. The day after the murder of Modell, Von would tweet that him and T-Roy have a problem and that they can't stop doing
To a degree, I don't know if anybody else feel like this, but like when you read this nigga tweets, it's like, in life, bro, everybody can relate to anger, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like, not that you can relate to this shit, but like, you can't understand how you feeling, but like, you can to a certain degree. Not
Von would tweet that
his
the streets are in
shoes,
trouble when
but,
he's coming,
you know?
and he would brush off the cops' attempts to arrest him. In fact, only 2 days after the killing, he would get into an argument with a well-known Tukaville GD known as Wooski on Twitter. Wooski had inferred that he had been out looking to catch Von that day, asking him where they were at.
I'm saying my name was understood, don't even be explained. Computers is one of the coldest. Oh my god, that shit slaps, man. I'm sorry.
A heartless reply saying that he was getting t-shirts made for Modell's
slaps.
funeral. Unsurprisingly, Von would find himself on the radar of the police following the murder of Modell, getting picked up for unlawful possession of a firearm and being questioned in October 2012, with Von later tweeting that the cops grabbed him and warned him to be careful. Apparently the cops even told Von that when they question their ops, they all talk about him and T-Roy, suggesting that their names are feared in the streets. Von would even tweet after that his own mother was beginning to hear the rumors about his violent behavior in the streets, and she was trying to put him on punishment. But Von wasn't deterred, and he kept using Twitter to increase his reputation as a killer. The following month, Von would be sending unprovoked Twitter ats at Wooski, asking if he knew who killed Modell, provoking responses from...
You know who made Jaja Game, Odell World Crack Crew? Alright, I'm gonna hit your line when I get in the hood. Fuck them niggas, G, let them talk, we still winning his day here. Yo ass is tripping.
Numerous ops who wanted to see Von dead, including Wooski and KI. And to me, this is where we see King Von really beginning to take pleasure in killing. For years to come, he would tweet mocking Modell, saying it's messed up what happened to him and that he's a straight sucker. It's this sort
because it went, you know what it went from? It went from him genuinely being hurt and it being unprocessed to him getting back. But then it's like he couldn't just be at peace with that. Not even because my motherfuckers was dying, but because what it does to yourself, bro. You kill a motherfucker, like it kills you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you can't show that, you can't let that come up. So you have to just keep it down by just acting like you don't give a fuck. And it just makes it worse, bro. And then you almost like you become addicted to it. It's just to protect your fucking brain from collapsing on itself in a way, bro. Like, seriously.
of of behavior where I believe that Von crosses the line from a normal gangbanger killing to survive to a full-blown serial killer
I
who's
agree
taking
too.
the lives of others systemically for his own personal gratification.
Yeah.
At this point, Von has already satisfied the conditions of being a serial killer, having allegedly killed more than 3
And I even think this is what I mean by having a father is so important, bro. I think he probably still would have caught 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Even if his dad was still in his life. But I don't think he would have been necessarily like addicted to it. It would have been one of them like he did his work, you know what I'm saying? And now it's rap. Now it's, you know, get a job, something. But there was no groundedness. He didn't have nothing to ground him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all.
In different locations with large periods of time in between the killings, and his tweets express a clear tendency to take pleasure in killing and a desire to show the world what he's doing. In a way, King Von's purpose in life at this point in time wasn't just revenge and murder for sport. It was about doing these crimes and giving the world clues about what he had done. And as the story goes on, you'll see King Von constantly hint towards his crimes on social media.
He just wanted attention, bro. He just wanted to just be seen, loved, accepted. That's it, bro. That's really it, bro.
Music, and even
We're gonna get this to the
television.
30-minute
But
mark,
now,
and then I'm
pattern
gonna do
had
part
emerged,
1. That's
and
gonna be
Von
part 1.
clearly had a thirst for blood. He was becoming a talented shooter and not facing any consequences for these crimes. And so, in the coming months, Von would be rumored to have been connected to at least 3 more murders, with the police only catching up to him when it was too late. In late 2012, Von was earning a reputation as a feared shooter in the Chicago gang wars, something he would be more than happy to broadcast to the world. Von would be seen in clips posted to social media, sliding in cars with his partner in crime T-Roy and others, throwing up gang signs and saying that they're smoking Tuka.
Yeah. Look.
And ain't it crazy how like life works, bro? Like all the nigga wanted was attention, was just to be seen. But yet, and the shit that he did, like with his time here, has now made motherfuckers see him in a way that ultimately like really ain't even him. Like it's him, it's who he is, because that's who he chose to be. But it's not, you know what I'm saying? And it's just fucked up. And now it just feels like the nigga's soul is just captured in like the digital world now. It ain't even real no more. It's fucked up, man.
Zico. Both of the Jardels.
And he'd be seen with his boys mobbing deep in trap houses.
I hope the real takeaways y'all can get from this video is like, I'm not even like dissing nobody.
Zico.
Everybody in this clip, D-Rose is locked up, T-Roy and Von are dead. Like, I hope y'all really are seeing like, this is what comes from that lifestyle. That's it.
Both of the Jardels.
And he'd be seen with his boys mobbing deep in trap houses.
King Von dead, T-Roy dead, Co-Killer, I don't know, Buka, I don't know, C-Day locked up, BJ traumatized for the rest of his life, Nuwop, I don't know who he is, D-Rose locked up, Bite Down, I'm not sure. I think Bite Down dead too.
And Von would even
Imagine what that video does to BJ. You know?
Rolling with the gang to the local store. Von was surprisingly open about his gangbanging life on social media, and he would be particularly active on Twitter during these violent months. He would tweet openly that he was planning to shoot at random people in traffic. He would tweet that he is STLK, or a St. Lawrence killer, and interestingly, around these times, on the 18th of October 2012, O-Block native Chief Keef would release his hit song Love Sosa, a legendary Chicago drill anthem with lyrics about killing people for disrespecting O-Block. At this point in 2012, Chief Keef had become a global rap star off the back.
He did something beautiful, but what it did was kind of like amplify what the fuck was already going on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like everybody that can relate to it, like in the real raw sense of what it is in the streets and shit. It's like now looking at it like, damn, I can be street and get rich, but they like still confusing it like with the same shit that they doing. Like, yes, you can stay true to yourself and always, but can't amplify the self-destruction more and think it's just gonna,
Of his single "I Don't Like," which was given an all-star
And
remix
that
by
is
Kanye West,
people's
and ended up landing
individuals'
at
fault.
number 73.
But they
on
like
the
to blame it
Billboard
on
charts.
Chief Keef to
That
try and
song
tear
had
him down.
lyrics about the gang wars in Chicago and lives being lost, and Chief Keef's music was becoming legendary for painting a picture of reality on Chicago's most dangerous block. Of course, who could forget Chief Keef's classic anthem 300, a song with lines all about the young'uns on his block gunning people down, and a track that made it famous to diss Tuka, with Black Disciple rappers beginning a trend of saying that they're smoking on Tuka, a sign of disrespect to Shondale Gregory, who had been killed in 2011. Now, King Von himself had an interesting relationship with Chief Keef's music. Von would tweet that him and T-Roy are the real-life people who these rappers are making their songs about.
Alright, bro. I'm gonna leave it here because this was the tweet I was talking about. And we're gonna do part 2 probably tomorrow. But I'm out, bro. Y'all be smooth.